Hi, I'm Debbie Marion from Essay Coaching. I'm online at essaycoaching.com and I have an office in Ann Arbor on Main Street, and I've been talking about college application essays for about 12 years now. I'm a professional writer and I just love to talk about essays. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be talking about essays personally face-to-face today. I have an emergency I had to attend to in Florida. But I really wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to write your best college application essay. So I'm filming this video and hoping that this will be of some help to you. Also, I am available anytime by phone, by email. Go to my website, write to me. I love questions. I also have a lot of questions and answers on Quora.com, Quora.com. I have a short PowerPoint for you today that gives some of the information that I like to share with people who are going through this challenge. I got into this because I have two daughters and I didn't know how to help them when they started, and I know that this can be a really stressful time, and my goal is to help you have less stress. So here we go, talking about 7 secrets for writing a standout college application essay. So first of all, a college application essay is not an essay that is something that you would write for high school. It's a story about what you care about and what you've done about it. Short and simple. If you don't remember anything else that I tell you today, that's what I want you to remember. And this interesting young group of people might look a little bit familiar to you now that you're seeing me. That is actually my high school photo with my friends, one of whom I'm married, and I'm still married to. The young man to my right in the flowered shirt is my husband today, I'm happy to say, and we have 2 daughters who have both gone to college, and we're really into education, and that's one of the reasons I like to talk about it with you. Here are a couple of some articles I've written. I've been a journalist for many years. Paper Cut is an article that's on my website where I actually had some unprecedented access to the University of Michigan to understand and interview them about how they make decisions when they receive your application, especially how they make decisions involving essays. In general, you want to write an essay that is compelling, that gets your voice across, and your voice in some ways in writing sounds like your spoken voice. You want to have an essay where you try and start to talk about yourself and have them learn something about you pretty quickly. Just like now you know something about me as well. So as I said, a college essay is not a 5-paragraph essay that you would write in high school. People aren't born knowing how to write, and neither are they born knowing how to write a college essay. And neither is a college essay scary. But let's pull back the curtain a little bit and talk about what are they actually looking for? Why do they have college application essays? Well, as you know, there are many students who have similar grades, 4.0. There are many students with high GPAs and high SATs and high ACTs. So what are they looking for? They're looking for students who will fit in to their student body. They're looking for students who have the right stuff to graduate. And they're looking for students who will participate, who will raise their hand, who will sit on the front row, who will join community groups and groups on campus. You can look at it as this list. There is the growth potential. How can you become even a stronger person? So they look at how have you grown in the past, and what are your goals in the future? Are you enthusiastic? And you can get that across. If I was there, I would be asking people this question: how do you think you can get that across? I'll let you think about that, but that's an answer that think about language that you would use to show you're enthusiastic. I'm very excited about. I love that. One of the things I do with students is I help them get enthusiastic language into their essay. If you have talents, show your talents. Showing your initiative is probably one of the most important things. that you can do. Leadership doesn't necessarily have to mean president, head of a club. Leadership can be a person who actually, say, helps their family, who maybe plans a family trip. So here's an anagram that can help you remember this: get in the lead. And you're probably now thinking, what do I say? So one of the things I do like to do when I'm there in person is give you an opportunity to think of some subjects that you could write about for your college application essay, because at this point many students come into my office and they're befuddled about what actually to write about. We know that the topics for a college application essay are on commonapp.org, and one of those topics is a topic of your choice, which makes it really easy, except that people don't actually know what the topic of their choice is. And that's one of the things I try to help students when I work with them one-on-one. Usually during one session we can figure out a strong topic. But one way that you can do it is you can start making lists. I'm a big believer in lists. So for example, right now you might just want to take a minute and write 3 places outside of school that you like to be in, that you feel comfortable and stimulated. 1, 2, 3, that's the first list. Second list is 3 people that you know that you have learned something from or taught something to. They could be older, they could be younger, they could be your same age. 3 rooms in the school that you like to go to for a certain reason. And lastly, a list of 3 things that you have that are meaningful to you for some way. Next, after you have that list written, the next thing to do is think of a real moment to write about. This is something that a lot of people don't talk about in their college essays when they're either explaining how to write one or when they're writing one, is sometimes it gets kind of mushy because we know that we have lived a long time and we want to get so much experience in. But the reality is if you can think of one moment that happened one morning, one afternoon, and get some details in there. Was it morning? Was it afternoon? Who were you with? What did you say? And also, not only what happened, but explain a little bit about what's going on in your head. Reflections. Those 2 aspects of your college essay, what happened and reflections and thoughts, combine to create a really strong essay. Now, a lot of students write to me and I can't always help all of them. So one thing I've done is created some quizzes on my website, and I've actually created them using PlayBuzz. And they have 2 purposes. One quiz helps you figure out your best topic. The second quiz helps you figure out if you're ready to send your college application essay. So you can go to my website, essaycoaching.com, and scroll down, and the quiz that helps you figure out your best topic gives you some scoring based upon, after you think of a topic, it scores you based upon, does the situation have longevity? Does it show you having a relationship with others in terms of that you're not the only person in the essay? So take a look at that on my website, and that's another free resource that is available for you. So remember, a college essay is a story about a time you feel good about. And you can see the blue guy there going like this, and he's standing out because he's looking a little different, he's unique. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that your situation is going to be different. A lot of students will say, well, should I write about sports? Students do write about sports sometimes because that might be your biggest passion. However, try not to write about the winning point. You really want to try to talk a little bit more about something you've done that shows taking initiative, how you've learned discipline, training. Try to reflect skills that would show a college that you have skills that are useful in graduating. You know what it takes to do well in school, and that's what a school is looking for in your essay, to hear about you having those qualities as well. Because the first thing they're going to say to themselves is, what have I learned about this person after I've read their essay? So here's another exercise that you can try at home. You can take an idea and you can read it out loud, and you can work with a friend and ask them questions about what they have written. Try to ask them what has confused you and what you're curious to learn about. And then they ask them if they want to try writing it again, and you'll notice that if you do that or they do that, that the second time, after somebody has asked you some questions, what you've written is much clearer and much more specific. Specific is always helpful. Better to say a 1956 Chevy than to say a car. Better to say a blue 1956 Chevy than to say a car, because the former gives you an image and gives the reader an image that they will remember you by. The latter might not be as memorable, and you want to be memorable. You can also use a technique of free writing, which I often will recommend. Set the timer for 10 minutes, start typing, don't stop, don't worry about spelling, punctuation, or grammar. It's a good way to get some words and thoughts on the page, then you can start to edit. What happens lots of times is that we get a little worried, is this going to be okay? And then we start to edit ourselves prematurely. So that's what I recommend, to just get your thoughts out there, then worry about editing it after it's down on the page. Edit once it's done. Edit, edit, edit. And parents, if your teen asks you for help, one thing you can do is you can just play this game with them. You can play the game where you're the admissions officer, read the essay, and say what you have learned from reading the essay. And then you can have the teen also say what they were hoping you would learn and compare. That can be a really interesting exercise because it helps the student figure out, did they get it across? So parents can be super helpful in order to help their students launch themselves into college. Remember, you can do it, you can graduate, you can write a strong essay. It just may take a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, but you can do it, absolutely. There is help available, collegeadmissionsadvisors.com. I'm on the line on the web at essaycoaching.com. That's essaycoaching.com, and I'd be happy to help you. Here's my email address, debbie@essaycoaching.com. This is where my office is, between two great restaurants in Ann Arbor. And I love to finish up with this slide because this little girl is holding an egg in her hand and she looks so happy. Well, why do you think she's holding an egg in her hand? Well, she and her parents, you can see her mom holding the chicken very lovingly in the back. Her parents were the first people in Ann Arbor who had a chicken coop in their backyard. And look how happy she is about the product of her chicken. Well, if you feel the same way about your essay, if you've written it and edited it, it's probably ready to send. And if you feel the same way that she feels, press the send button and hope for the best. You're never going to know exactly what's going to happen on the other end, but you can tell when you have done your best in writing your best application essay. I hope that was very helpful for you. I'm Debbie Marion from Essay Coaching, wishing you all the best as you apply to college.